Hey everybody, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor, and today I just want to talk to you a little bit from the perspective of being a wife. It is so important that when you're dealing with your spouse, remember that they're not in your head. And so it's no way for them to know how you're feeling. I do think it's important for you as a wife to be able to articulate how you feel, but do that in a kind of creative way, not where you're constantly telling your spouse that this is wrong, this is a problem, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm dehydrated. By the time you run off all of the I'm, then your spouse is like, maybe you need some medical attention because this could probably be way more than just an issue. And you don't want your spouse to always feel like you have an issue when it comes to dealing with your intimacy with him. And so from just a communication perspective, with me being your balance doctor, I want to make sure that you know that you and your spouse should be able to have that carved out time where you get a chance to rekindle your love and get a chance to talk and rejuvenate your love and refresh your love. That is so incredibly important. My husband and I, we make date time. I don't care what it takes for us to have a date. We meet randomly at any given moment to just make a date happen. It may be a late night date, it may be a noonday date, it could be a morning date. Whatever it takes for you and your spouse to have some date time is critically important. Now, when I talk from the perspective of dating, sometimes people think that that only means dinner and a movie, or that only means going to a theatrical performance and dinner, or going to the shopping mall, or whatever it is. Dates are so different for everybody. You can have dinner and a movie right in your home. Watch a Redbox movie or watch something right on Netflix or on one of the different on-demand channels that maybe you didn't get a chance to see it when it was running, but you got a chance to go back and look at the movie at a later time. And you have popcorn and set the atmosphere right in your home, especially if you have children. If you have children, then it may be difficult for you to always get a babysitter, go out to a specific location, and then be able to have that date. So sometimes what I recommend is creating the atmosphere right at home and making that a beautiful date night. As long as you and your spouse know that you're both going to the extreme to care for each other's needs and to be creative to make that time to be together, I think that that goes a really long way. I'll give you an example. Like the other night, my husband and I, we went on a date. But it was not a planned date. We didn't pre-plan it forever and say, okay, I'm going to wear this dress or this outfit. I was literally in the middle of cleaning and doing some other things that I wanted to work on. But he called and said, hey, sweetie, why don't we just take a quick break? Let's eat and also check into a movie that you may want to see. And I immediately, when I say drop everything, boop, all of this can wait. And that's when I tell you sometimes you have to be off balance on purpose a little bit, because everything's not going to be perfect all the time. So if you have to sometimes pick and choose, okay, right now the priority is my husband, my man, my spouse, and he wants to do a date. So I'm going to let this cleaning project get put on the back burner for a few minutes on purpose so that I can spend this time with my spouse. And that, when I say it was a fun date, it was one of the best dates ever. We had a great time. Randomly, just spontaneously picking a moment where we just chose to spend time together, and it worked so beautifully. We went to a quick dinner, and then we went to a movie that we wanted to see and had a great time. And so I recommend that you go to the extreme to do whatever it takes to come up with meeting moments with you and your spouse. If your spouse works crazy hours, then maybe you can meet every once in a while at a nice coffee shop just to say, okay, I'm going to bring you lunch to your job and we can sit in the parking lot and talk in the car. Anything can be a date when it comes to you and your spouse. So use some creativity. Do not let having children be your block, because a lot of times people say, because I have children, we have young children, we don't get the opportunity to date as much. Do not use that as an excuse, because you can make it happen to be able to carve out some time, even if you get a niece or nephew or someone to come over and watch your children in an upstairs area so that you get an opportunity to have that private time with your spouse uninterrupted from your children. You have to do this. If you are not hearing me as your balance doctor, I am telling you, it is mandatory that you make time for your spouse and let your spouse know how important he is to you. He's the one that was your soulmate, remember? So let him continue to feel like he's your soulmate even many years later. And for me, It's 24 years later. And I want my husband to always know that he's still the same soulmate that I believe God created him to be 24 years ago. Actually, technically, it was about 30 years ago because I was 18 when we met. And I would choose him over and over again. So I hope today's tip has been helpful to you. Make time to date your spouse and make it happen now. Okay, so listen, ladies, as the balance doctor, I'm telling you, not even just, I'm demanding you to stop saying that you're so sleepy and that you're just so overworked and overwhelmed and you don't have enough energy to take care of your spouse. Those days are over starting today. Do whatever it takes. I don't care if you have to take a quick nap during the day, take a shower before you go into your room. Be creative so that you can be more spontaneous and that you can be able to meet the needs of your spouse. Be out of the box with your thinking. Do not let tiredness prevent you from being able to meet your spouse's needs. I really hope that I'm helping somebody today. I kind of feel like I'm preaching actually because I know what I know. And if you know that you're in a situation where you're just not being able to make headway with your spouse and it's not going in the direction that you want it to go in, please feel free to reach out to me for like a 15-minute consultation, a free 15-minute consultation. You can reach out to my assistant who does all of my operations, and her name is Cassandra at thebalancedoctor.tv, or you can call 704-944-3534 to schedule your 15-minute free consultation. I'll be so happy to help you because I don't want to see any marriages fail because of because I'm tired, because I'm exhausted, because I just could not meet my spouse's needs. If he's wanting something from you, he should be allowed to express his desires and his needs to you. He should be able to share, hey, you know what? I need some more creativity. I need you to be, a little more spunkier. If he can't fulfill his fantasies and his goals and his dreams through you and his fantasies through you, then that's not fair. Because that's your spouse and you're the only person that he can go to. You're the only go-to for this situation unless you're in a situation where your spouse has options, and we know that that's quite inappropriate. So we don't want that to be the case either. All right, I hope I helped somebody. Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor, and of course I'm a chief mother dreamer, and I'll always be a mother dreamer to the day I die. Take care. Bye-bye.